So here I am, same day I just filmed the video about this car, and I'm gonna start taking it apart. So I am starting the filming. I need to get all the rivets off, get this off. I'm sad I'm gonna lose that. I think I might hang it up on the wall. I gotta get all that off, gotta get these rear fenders off, gonna take the whole rear end off, and get ready to start doing the fabrication for the new fuel cell, get the water tank out. But just need to clear some space so we can actually get to the radiator itself. And probably get a new radiator because that thing's been in there for forever as well. So, time-lapse time. Okay, it's been a while since these fenders have been off, but you can see what we've been working with. Quite a bit of Velino tires in there. We just have some plastic that we riveted in to try to keep some of that down. Got to get the rest of the skirts off, but not a whole lot left of the car, which is why I really wanted to go with the LFCs, because I mean, you're just Bluetoothing at this point where everything is supposed to go. And post getting run into, we had to re-weld a bunch of brackets on temporarily just to get the bumper back on so we could continue the event. We pulled, funny part is, we pulled this whole thing out with ratchet straps, and Jeff Jones was parked next to me right here. And we actually looped it around one of his trailer tires and started ratchet strapping this thing over. And they were all inside the trailer, and they came running out like, yo, what the fuck, dude? What are you doing? And I was just pulling them over inch at a time, and then it was funny. But thanks, Jeff Jones, for being a good sport about that. I just did it because it was funny. But yeah, the whole thing is over. Some of it's buckled. Like, that whole thing is gonna have to come off. We're gonna have to redo that. Gotta get this off, and then I think I'm gonna call it for today. Just a quick rip. Didn't plan on working on the car, but here we are. Now you can see the aluminum work. It's absolutely beautiful. Foxy, all Zeus tabbed everywhere, and then military grade hardware. And he did such a good job. Thank you, Foxy. But yeah, progress. And here you can see my rudimentary mount for the actual water tank that I just took off. You can unbolt it here, and then it's got cotter pins that hold it into those two posts, so you could just take the whole thing out if need be, but I think I'm going to redesign and change that. Anyway, that's remnants of the old fire suppression system that no longer works because the car caught on fire and I pulled it and nothing happened, so that was a fun time. Now you can see radiators all up in this business of this area here, so get all this out and see what we can do. So I kept going. Now I got a pile of the entire rear end off. The taillight holders, some of the aluminum. I need to go get my power tools so I can actually get the rest of that off, but got those off. Yeah, it's looking slightly more naked than it did when I was doing the tour. This chassis always looks so short when they don't have a rear end on them. A lot of fluff back there, which I guess is a good thing for drifting, but yeah, progressions. And since I am here now, I wanted to see how the dupe is going to fit, and it looks like it's going to be absolutely beautiful. Just need to obviously get that straightened out, but it's hitting in a couple places, so I'll need to do some modifications, but I said we needed to redo that anyway, so yeah, the doof is on. I'm gonna have correctly aligned tail lights once it's all said and done, which is sick. Pretty excited for that. May even get some freshies on there. Got a couple extra sets from back in the day that I never went through, but yeah, it's 2F stuff coming in clutch. And kept going even more. Got the tools. to get all the hardware off. And this is where the radiator lies. Got a big hole there to try to suck some air up because there is not enough gap between where the firewall rests and the radiator. Didn't know any better. This was a case of, if I only knew then what I know now, we would have made that thing go all the way out to like the battery box to get more volume in there for the fans to actually suck out. So we got to come up with some sort of a solution. Maybe I'll put some sort of a mesh grill on that and then a plate over the front of it to cover that. So if there is any fire or splash, it'll mostly contain it. But I believe I need to get this re-cored because I probably blew the center of the cores up. But again, it's not serviceable from the outside of the car, which makes it not necessarily important, but it really makes it a pain. If there's ever a thing like this, it's like, all right, well, the event's over. We're gonna pack it up and go home. So if we can change this, I will. If we can't change this, I won't. And I may end up just leaning it back more and having it actually come out all the way back here, but we'll see if that actually will work. But Scotty's gonna come over and assess the situation, and I'll check back in. So Scotty don't showed up, and now he's gonna put the power to this to see if we're even getting one of those fuel pumps to work. Maybe two of them don't work, maybe none of them work, we don't even know. But we're definitely losing fuel pressure at some point during our last couple of events that I ran this thing, but we're gonna definitively find out. We're going over all the changes or not that we're gonna do, depending on our aggression levels. But
once I get scissor through this.
Oh, yeah, those scissors probably not very good, but here's a laser blade. That might work better. All right, Scotty did some testing. What's the prognosis?
All the pumps are working.
Oh.
But the only change we've done in the fuel pump circuit was when we put the S1 sequential gauge in.
Yeah.
That's the only additional load on the fuel pump circuit.
Oh.
It should be insignificant.
But that board's also 13 years old now.
I have no idea, but apparently it was past the threshold of what the arc is
Could handle.
of.
Yeah.
But all the fuel pumps are working.
That's fantastic.
But it also, we were reducing fuel pressure, so we still gotta look at the fuel system.
It's a true story. But that's why we got all that stuff. And probably gonna have to buy a bunch of other stuff, but
I mean, like, whether it could be a defective fuel pressure regulator or just I don't think it's a plugged fuel filter, because I think I changed that element last year.
I remember you doing that under the car.
So I don't think that's it, but never know. Maybe we sucked up a bunch of fire hydrant from Tucson into the fuel system, and we're gonna take the fuel filter off. It's gonna be full
White powder.
Yeah.
And it ain't cocaine. All right, plugging onwards. Thanks, sir. Ooh, almost got right there. Yeah. All right. So there we go. It's got some stuff. Got the cage. Definitely different than that cage because we made that one. This one's a little more compact, which is also good. Stoked on this. So this one, this whole external mechanism is on the inside now. Takes up way less room. Isn't a giant bump on the edge of your tank. Not that that didn't work, but now we have this one. I like that it's more compact all around. So hopefully we can mount our fan differently. But yeah. Sick. Thanks, Radium. That's a good looking unit. So one other thing that I forgot that I ordered through Radium is we used this on the Mustang we did on Runs Good. It's a dry brake fitting, and then the dry brake stuff, fell in love with it then, and then wanted it on the race car. You had to take the trunk off and then the cap, and I would lose the cap constantly. Lost it at LZ World Tour, and LZ came up and was like, hey, is this your fuel cap? And I was like, yep. The next day. So we just ran with it, just open, just sloshing fuel around. This is going to alleviate all that. So cool 8-gallon jug. I have another one of these that I use as backup, so I'll just need to order another dry brake thing from them, and then I'll have 2 ready to go. We'll put 5 gallons in each. It'll be 10 gallons. Fill that thing up. Bob's your uncle. Dang. Scotty working out. Got the battery. Gonna replace that with anti-gravity. Save a little bit of weight, you know, as it were. But
I feel like I'm struggling to lift this.
well, you don't want to throw that at me and have me catch it with one hand? That's cool.
Dylan would just lock it.
Dylan, it would hit Dylan and the battery would break. All right, so yeah, dry brake. Pretty stoked on this. Actually, really stoked on that. Just need to figure out where we're gonna put it. Right on the roof? I don't know yet. We'll figure it out. We've also got a bunch of aptly colored boxes. As you can see, I've got a theme going with colors of my stuff. Even all the Ryobi stuff I have is literally because it matches my car. And this is real close to it. It's not quite neon, but I'll take it. But we got a shop banner. I'll put that up on the wall. We've got fuel filter, petcock. Gotta love your petcocks. Another fuel filter, fuel pressure regulator, damper. We've got fuel sub harness kit. And then we've got competition catch can XL. So, yeah, we're doing the damn thing. It'll be all radiumed up, but fresh. So this is a pretty cool bit of kit. This is a passive cool. Oh, there goes my filter. Later, dude. Passive cooling for this filter. So that slips in there, tightens down, and then is actively cooled by air running across the fins, which is great when your radiator fans are pointed directly at your fuel system and keep it nice and toasty warm.
It'd be wonderful in Alaska.
It would be wonderful in Alaska, but
Have a little fuel heater.
we are not there. Fuel filter, passive cooling. Sick. And this little 90-degree Johnny of Love is a fuel pressure regulator slash fuel pulse damper. So it keeps your fuel nice and smooth and also at the pressure that you so desire. So that's super cool. That's definitely different than the one that I have in my car. So happy to be upgrading to that. And for those of you that don't know, that's what a petcock is. I wasn't just saying words on the old internet. That goes on the catch can drain line to drain. Scotty's pumping out fuel the old-fashioned way. All that Boostain E85 just draining.
The old-fashioned way is about that.
Oh yeah, we could have done the gravity bong. Coat your mouth. Is that a mosquito? I hate you, little guy. Don't come near me. Did I get him? I didn't get him. That's alright. So this is Radium's newest version. So it's just got this plate that sits up on the 3 pedestal things, and then it's just got a big open thing, and it's got the little filter in there. So no paper filter anymore, which is fantastic. And then there's the mount for that to put that on. I'll show the old style was these, and they work, but you just have to make sure to keep those filters clean, because the moment they get oil in them, then it just starts sucking. Which is exactly what has happened to mine over the years and years and years, because I didn't keep the filters clean. Again, it's my fault. But that should be a much better design of vent to atmosphere than these were. So, sick. And lastly, but not leastly, we got the fuel sub-harness kit that basically takes all the wiring for all the pumps that are here and routes it through a big plug, which is there, that you can then just disconnect that, keep all these connected, don't have to touch any of that, and work on stuff. So that's cool. Stoked on that too. And that wraps up all the Radium stuff. Pretty excited to have some dry brake goodness on there and this thinner fuel cell, and just refresh and update. That is the whole goal here. So we got all the fuel out the fuel system. Now we're just going to kind of take it apart, check things out, see how it's fared over the last
over a decade.
12 years. It's so crazy to think about that. Oh my god. I just texted the hey man, you got the instruction manual and part number for this fuel cell? And he's like, dude, we've gone through 87 iterations since then.
So you're saying you don't have it?
Yeah. What are you trying to tell me here? And he gave it to me right away, and we looked it up, and yep, there it is. But yeah, the upgraded version, the 12-year-old version, just still kicking it. Put it on something else. That's all I have to say about that. So Radium also provided these fuel-absorbing pads on the packaging. Just kidding. And that's the old. We got 2 Hellcat pumps in this thing. We didn't see that coming. We think it was the Hellcat pumps were overpowering the 044 and doing our fueling issue. But yeah, the old tank got a little bit of schmoo in there, but not bad for 12 years of just chonging. Crazy that it was on there for so long. Doesn't make any sense.
Didn't show any downfalls until we finally put the blower on and pulleyed it.
Yeah.
It was fine until we pulleyed it down.
Yeah. Well, solution thus. Just doing a little drainy drain. It's got a lot of fluid in this system.
Can you hit the battery switch?
Yeah, dude. Got it. Yeah, nothing coming out. I think we done did it. So we could take the old radiator out, so we can get the fans off, so we can get to the bolts that hold the fuel cell in, which is why we're redoing all this stuff, because that's not how it should be. So this is why we're redoing things, and it's kind of little things like this all over the car. The bash cage did its job. Like, we got bashed, and the fuel cell stayed where it was supposed to be, and it didn't get bashed, which, I mean, that worked. So we're going to recreate something almost exactly like that. What sucks is you can't take the fans off the radiator at all. And then when you get the fans off, you can't take the fans out because the fuel cell's too high. And so then you need to take the radiator off. But then you can't take the radiator off without, there's these tabs that went in right here, but they're gone right now. Where you can have one?
Yeah, you also have to drill out the Lexan. Don't forget about that.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yes, you had to take off all the rivets for the Lexan, but then these bolt through there and hold this thing in, so you have one holding it there and then one holding it here, but then you can't just like lean it forward or do anything because now the fans are hitting that you can't get out because of the fuel. It's just like those little things on repeat were what we kept having problems with this kind of stuff. Like if we would have lost the fan at any of the events, it would have been game over. Like we would not have been able to complete the event because we would have to take the whole car apart. Well, I mean, we kind of did once.
There's a hole right there.
Luckily, there's a hole, and we got to it underneath. But still,
I think we used Matt Field's tools.
Yes.
To cut the hole in there, and we went to AutoZone and bought a fan that we put on here.
Yeah. So there was, again, it's just like now we need to fix all of these little things that are just hindrances.
This fan wasn't working because the clip thing.
The clip came off the fan itself, so the thing was just spinning and not doing anything. And so it's like that would have been a season ender. I mean, we fixed that one luckily, but if the radiator went, like there's just no way. So trying to make this thing more serviceable. Lunch break. GK Tech working on this thing again. Got the fuel cell out, radiators out, and somewhere, I don't know where I put it, shroud. And now I can actually get the doof on properly. That is awesome. I'm not even gonna need to change wheel spacers, or actually I don't even think I have spacers, no. Can't size it fit pretty. Just gonna have to trim the inside of that a little bit. But yeah, otherwise it's looking pretty good as far as the doof goes. Just gonna try to get the side skirt off and get the other side on and see what it looks like all mocked up. But then I'm gonna push this out when I got some help and pressure wash it and get the rear end clean, and then I'm gonna start cutting stuff off so we can get the new fuel cell in. It's gonna be sick. And just like that, this thing has an infinitely straighter rear end than it's ever had in the past. It's just sitting on there and it's straighter than it ever was, which is sick. These 2F panels are a godsend and amazing all at the same time. Everything fits really well, molds up exactly where it needs to be. Fitment's still good. Nice. At least it won't take long to get the rear end dialed in, hopefully. I say that now, and it's going to come back to bite me later, but so far so good. Quick update, it's hot. It's August 17th or 18th. Getting dangerously close to, or sorry, it's July 17th or 18th, not August. A little less than a month, or a little over a month until no coast, and probably picked literally the worst time to do all this, but got the old fuel cell cage cut out, got the crooked jack point that flexed all over the place out, got the really handy shopping cart pusher out. That's the one that got yard sale, did its job. And my buddy Wade came over yesterday and we were discussing options. I think we're gonna run the radiator like this so that the fans shoot air out of the trunk instead of straight down onto the fuel cell. I'm gonna have to get a new radiator. I'm probably gonna have to remove these because the radiator that I want is an inch wider, which is almost exactly what that's going to give us right there. Then basically the old fuel cell cage, that thing, mounted here and here and there and there. Obviously the radium is a little bit wider, so the plan is to modify this. I'm going to cut the bottoms and make it wider, and cut it and make it shallow, so that it bolts on right there. So this is going to be the fuel cell cage now. I'm going to trim these down and get them nice and cleaned up so that those aren't stabbing everybody. Then the old bar that was right here, I'm going to clean this up and put 4 right there, since that's part of the frame. That'll be nice and sturdy. Then the goal is to put square tubing from here down to like right here, and on that side too, and this box will be the jack point in theory. So this will be the box that protects the fuel cell and also a structural jack point. So we'll see how that plays out. Otherwise, got everything cleaned up as much as I could, cleaned all the aluminum panels, cleaned the radiator out, which is somewhere, but that thing was absolutely filthy. Progress. Things I've wanted to do for a very, very, very long time.